Good afternoon, students. Today we are going to discuss one more topic, that is naive Bayes analysis, which is a part of module 5. We will discuss about this type of classifier in detail in the coming slides. So Bayesian classifier is actually is a supervised learning technique that uses probability theory based analysis. Okay, so here it is a machine learning technique, or we can say it is a data mining technique that computes the probability of an instance belonging to each one of many target classes, given the prior probability of classification using individual factors. So here, Bayesian classifier is used often in classifying text documents, okay, into one of the multiple predefined categories. So as I told, Bayesian classifier is a supervised learning technique. Whenever we say supervised learning technique, we will be having a training data as well as the test data, and we will be having a target variable that we called as a class label. Okay, so whenever we say the supervised learning, you can keep in our mind that we will be having whenever I say supervised learning, there will be a target variable and there will be a training data set and there will be a test data set. Okay, so in many applications, the relationship between the attribute set, when I say attribute, say for example in the training, you can just imagine the training data set. So we'll be having a set of attributes. Okay, we'll be having a set of attribute and one independent variable that we called as a target variable or a class variable, right? Okay, target variable, I have told you so many times what is target variable, what is class label, all this. Target variable is nothing but the class label. Okay, so here we will be having a target variable, and this will be the set of attribute 1, attribute 2, attribute 3, okay, attribute 3, like this. And based on this feature, okay, the target variable will be decided. Okay, based on this feature, the target variable will be written as yes or no, or any other value. So these are nothing but the independent variable. So whatever I am telling about attribute set, okay, whatever I am talking about the attribute set, you can imagine that, okay, 1, 2, 3, that is attribute 1, attribute 2, attribute 3. Okay, they are the attribute set, and the class variable, when I say, it is nothing but the target variable. Based on this value, attribute set value, we will be deciding what actually the class value is. Okay, class value is. So is here the relationship in many application, the relationship between the attribute set and the class variable is non-deterministic. Okay, why it is non-deterministic? In other words, if I say the class label of the test record cannot be predicted with certainty, even though its attribute set is identical to some of the training examples. In previous classifiers and all, if you see decision tree, or if you see rule-based classifier, if you see in k nearest neighbor, what we are doing, we used to take the training data set, and when the test record is given, the characteristics or the features which is closer to the, or which is almost matching to that test record, to that class label, actually the test data used to be uh, accommodated, or it used to be allocated. Okay, whereas here, even though we have an attribute set, okay, or the training set, okay, which is almost similar with the same characteristics, we will not be saying that to this particular class the test record belongs to. We will take the attributes individually, and we will be finding the probability, and we will be deciding to which class it belongs to. Okay, so that's what here, that's what it is saying. Okay, non-deterministic. The class level of the test record cannot be predicted with certainty. Okay, that means even though its attribute set is identical to some of the training example, that is the meaning of this. Okay, so this situation may arise. One second, I just accept some students. Yeah, this situation, why this situation may arise? This situation may arise because of some of the disturbance, that is noisy data, okay, or the presence of the certain confounding factors that affect classification but are not included in the analysis. Okay, so Bayesian classifier is an approach. Bayesian classifier is an approach, okay, for modeling probabilistic relationship between the attribute set and the class variable. Okay, we'll see in detail. So it is based on the theorem called Bayes theorem that we will be discussing in detail. Yeah, before moving to Bayes theorem, let us have a simple introduction about the probability. So, can you just tell me what is probability? You would have learned in the your mathematics class and all. In some subjects also, you will be this you would have used. So, can you just tell me what is probability? Anybody can message me. What is probability? When I say probability, I say it is yeah, I have got answer. Most probable event. Okay. So when I say probability, I can just define as its chance of something happening. Yes or no? Its value varies from 0 to 1. So its value varies from 0 to 1. What is 0? 0 means the value 0 represent no chance. Okay, the value 1 represent a total certainty. So for example, to give the example for a simple example for the probability, when we flip a fair coin, okay, there is an equal chance of getting either heads or tails. Yes or no? So what is the probability of getting head? 50%, that is 1 by 2, because we have two faces in the coin. One is a head, another is tail. So what is the chance? Out of 2, I can we can get only 1. So 1 by 2, that is 50%. So in the similar way, okay, similar, what would be the probability of getting 1? Okay, getting the number 1, when you roll the dice with 6 faces. Dice will be having how many faces? 6 faces. So when we roll the dice, what is the chance of getting the 1? Okay, so if you assume dice is a fair, the probability will be 1 by 6. Yes or no? So 1 by 6. So it is 0.166. So this is a brief introduction about the probability. Now we will move on to basic definition of probability theorem. So here, when I say Bayes theorem, when I say it is a base, it is basically theorem. This theorem is a statistical principle of for combining prior knowledge of the class with new evidence gathered from data. I tell you what is prior knowledge. Okay, prior knowledge and the evidence. Okay, evidence. So prior knowledge from the, it is statistical principle. Okay, it is actually Bayes theorem. It is a statistical principle for combining prior knowledge of the class, okay, with new evidence. Okay, that means new data. That is nothing but the test data. New evidence. Prior knowledge means already which is existing. Okay, gathered from the data. So let us consider there is a two variable. Okay, one second. I just undo all this. Okay, let us consider there is a two variable, let x and y. Okay, let x and y be a pair of random variables. Okay, the joint probability, that is p of x is equal to value x, y is equal to value y. Okay, this we called as a joint probability. Okay, so refers to the probability that the variable x will take on the value x. This whatever I am saying, capital X and capital Y is random variables. Okay, small x and small y, they are values. Okay, values. When I say variable, it is nothing but the attribute in our training data set. Hope you are understanding. Okay, so training data set. So I just take a training data set which will be having so many columns. So when I say column, what is column? Column is nothing but a Column is nothing but a attribute, yes or no? So we call this as a variable also. Okay, columns, features, attributes, they were called as a variables. And there will be one target variable that we called as a class label. Okay, so this attribute will be having some values, yes or no? This attributes will be having some set of values. Okay, that x is nothing but the value of this particular attribute, value of this particular attribute, that one. Okay, next here the tuple. Okay, in the tuple or a row, we call it as an instance or an example or a sample. Okay, hope you are understanding. So here, what is joint variable? Joint variable refers, okay, refers to joint variable refers to the probability that the variable x will take on the value x and the variable y will take on the value y. Then next we have one more probability called conditional probability. So what is this conditional probability? Conditional probability is the probability that a random variable will take on a particular value given that the outcome of another random variable is already known. Okay, that is the random variable will take, okay, the random variable will take on a particular value, okay, particular value given that the outcome for another random variable is already known. That means the value of this already known. Okay, so when in the known variable is given, it is calculated using this. This will be a class variable. Y will be representing the class variable where x will be representing the attribute. Okay, it will be representing the attribute. Hope you are understanding. Okay, so so next, what is the relationship between this? Okay, so here, for example, here for the conditional probability, for example, the conditional probability P of y is equal to y given x is equal to x refer to the probability that the variable y will take on the value y, okay, given that the variable x, I just delete all this, okay, the variable y, okay, I repeat, the conditional probability, okay, refers this, the conditional probability refers to the probability that the variable y, okay, will take on the value y given that the variable x is observed to have a value x. Okay, the relationship between the joint and the conditional variable is given in this form. That is probability of x and y, okay, is equal to probability of y given x. Okay, probability of y given x. So in some cases, it will be pronounced like the p of x, the p of y being true given b is true. Okay, p of y being true given uh, given y x is true. Okay, so the p of y being true given x is true. That way also it can be told, or in simple words we can say the probability of y, okay, given x, okay, y given x. Okay, in this way also we can say. So the relationship is given like this. Okay, probability of y given x into probability of x is equal to probability of x given y into probability of y. So this, okay, is still simplified. This equation is rearranged, okay, rearranged, okay, and the equation is represented as Bayes theorem. Okay, Bayes theorem. So the probability of y given x is equal to probability of x given y into, okay, probability of y whole divided by probability of x. Okay, whole divided by probability of x. So we call this as likelihood. Okay, this part we called as a likelihood. So we'll see in the next slide in detail. Yeah, this we called as a Bayes theorem equation. Okay, Bayes theorem equation. I think it is not clear for you here. I just tell off. So what is P of A, that is probability of A given B. As I told, probability of A, okay, occurring given evidence B has already occurred. Okay, probability of A given probability of A occurring given evidence B. B is called as evidence. In other terms, B is called as evidence of has already occurred. Already occurred. So here is this entire thing is equals to what? Probability of B occurred given evidence A has already occurred into probability of A occurring whole divided by probability of B occurring. Okay, you can say A here. Okay, B is nothing but the class label, A is nothing but the attribute. Okay, particular attribute. B, we can say A and B are the event. So here B is on a class label where A is nothing but a attribute. Okay, we can say like that. Okay, so this is about the Bayes theorem. So when I take up the example, you will be understanding clearly. Okay. So next we can see. So here this part. Okay. This part we call it as a posterior. Okay. This part is a posterior. So Bayes theorem actually it finds the probability of event occurring given the probability of another event that has already occurred. Okay. So Bayes theorem is mathematically is represented like this. Okay, so P of A given B, we call it as a posterior. Okay, this part, one second, I delete everything. So this part, we call it as a posterior. Posterior. Okay, posterior. This part we call it as a livelihood. Okay, livelihood. Livelihood. Likelihood, sorry, likelihood. 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 Okay, likelihood. So this is prior probability. Okay, that we call it as a knowledge of attribute, prior probability, okay, of A being true. Okay, this we call it as a knowledge. And this is marginalization, we say probability of B, okay, being true, the probability of B being true. So this is about the Bayes theorem equation. This is actually a mathematical equation. So let us take some simple scenario, okay, about the playing games. So here, if you see, okay, you can just read out here. So what is actually here? Consider a football game. Okay, consider a football game between two rival teams. The team name is given as Team 0 and Team 1. Suppose the team 0 wins 65% of the time. Okay, so remember team 0 how many times it is winning? 65% of the time, and team 1 wins the remaining okay remaining matches. Team 1 wins the remaining matches. Among the games won by Team 0, Team 0 wins 65% of the time. 65% of the time win. So among the games won by Team 0, only 30% of them comes from playing on Team 1's. Okay, please understand this. So Team 0, Team 1, we have Team 0 wins 65% of the time. Team 1 wins the remaining matches. Okay, but here among the games won by Team 0, only 30%. Okay, they would have played 10 games, football game. Out of that, Team 0 is played with Team 1 only 30%. That means three games they have played. Out of that, 65% they have won. Okay, like that. So comes okay. So they only 30% of them come from playing on Team 1's football field. On the other hand, 75% of the victories for Team 1 are obtained by playing at home. If Team 1 is to host the next match between the two teams, which team will mostly likely emerge as the winner? Okay, which team will most likely emerge as the winner? When the team one is hosting the next match in their hometown, okay, in their place. Okay, what is the chance of this, or which team will be winning? Okay, that is actually the we have to find out whether the team one will win or whether the team two or team zero will win. We have to find out. So this is a simple scenario given. Okay, this is just to illustrate the Bayes theorem. Okay, probability. So here, let us say probability of team 0 winning is what? P of y is equal to 0. Okay, P of y is equal to 0. So what we'll get? 0.65. Yes or no? 65%. 65% means what? Here the team 0. Okay, team 0. So P of probability of y is equal to 0. Team 0. So it is 65%, 0.65. Probability of team 1 wins is, okay, the probability of team 1 wins is, what is that? When the 65% is won by team 0, remaining what is the percentage won by team 1? Obviously it is 100. 100 minus 65%, that is obviously 35%. So here it is, that's why it is given as 1 minus p of y is equal to 0, that is 0.35. Hope when you add this you will get 1, that means 100%. So the probability of team 1 hosted, okay, hosted the match it won is team 1 hosted, okay, team 1 hosted. The probability of team 1 hosted the match it won, okay. That means what? When the team 1 hosted, they have won 75%. So that is probability of x is equal to 1. Given y is equal to 1, we'll get the 75%, that is 0.75. All these are given in the scenario. Yes or no? The probability of team 1 hosted the match won by team 0. Okay, 1 by team 0 is what? 30%. Yes or no? It is already given. 1 by team 0 is 30%. So that is p x is equal to 1, or given y is equal to 0, that is 30%, that is 0.3. Yes or no? So now what is that? We have to compute the objective here is to compute, our objective is to compute P of y is equal to 1 given x is equal to 1. Okay, given x is equal to 1, which is the conditional probability that team 1 wins the next match if it will be hosting. Okay, and compares it against P of y. Okay, and compares it against P of y. P of y given x is equal to 1. Here I have given, okay, x is equal to 1. I'll share the ppt. Okay, we have to compare against this. Okay, first we have to compute, okay, what we are computing the chances of team 1 winning. Okay, team 1 wins the next match. Okay, it is hosting, team 1 is hosting the match, whether the team 1 will win hosting the match in their place. Okay, against team 0. So whether team 1 will win or team 0 will win, we have to check out it. So what we are doing, we have to compute for that. Okay, p of y is equal to 1 given x is equal to 1. So when we calculate this, the probability using the Bayes theorem, okay, Bayes theorem formula we have used here, or the equation we have used here. So that is what, here we have 0.75 into the p of x is equal to 1 given y is equal to 1. Okay, x is equal to 1 given y is equal to 1. Okay, that is nothing but 0.75 into p of y is equal to 1, that is this part. So that is p of a upon b. Okay, a given b, like that. So this into 1, when we use this, all these values whatever we have written up, we will be ending with the value 0.5738. Okay, we will be ending with the value, this calculation will end up with 0.5738. Then we have to calculate the value, that is p of y is equal to 0 given y x is equal to 1. That means what? This is the value. Okay, so that means 1 minus, okay, 1 minus 0.5738. So we'll get the value as what? 0.42. Okay, 0.4262. Okay, this is a little bit inside, it is 0.4262. So we'll get this value. So when we compare this, Okay, this is of team 0 and this is of team 1. Okay, this is of team 1 and this is of team 0. So when we compare this, since P of y is equal to 1 given x is equal to 1 greater than P of y is equal to 0 given x is equal to 1, that is team 1 has the better chance than the team 0 winning the next match. Okay, that means this is greater. We always consider the highest maximum probability, highest or maximum probability. Which is having the maximum probability? This one. This is nothing but the actually the team 1. Okay, this is nothing but team 1. So team 1 is having a better chance. It is just a prediction. Okay, classification means it is just a prediction. We are predicting, but we cannot tell actual thing. Yes or no? In the matches also, if it is a cricket match or the football match, any innings happening, okay, World Cup happening, there will be a betting. Okay, so there is a, they tell this team will win. That means they are predicting. Okay, for such application and all, we can use the classification. Yeah, it is a better chance. Okay, team 1 has a better chance than team 0 for winning the next match. It is not saying team 1 will win 100%. Okay, better chance. Is it clear? Okay, that is so here in the Bayesian classifier, Bayesian, the classification is based on the theorem called Bayes theorem. Okay, it was named after Thomas Bayes. Okay, it is the why the name, the theorem has got Bayes theorem after a mathematician, that is Thomas Bayes. Okay. Okay, next we move on to next slide. Yeah, Bayes theorem for classification. As I told, the Bayes theorem is named after Thomas Bayes. There are two types of probability here. Okay, probability here, one is prior probability and another is posterior probability. Okay, prior probability and posterior probability. Let us have some basic knowledge about this Bayes theorem for especially for the classification. So let us take the term X, which defines the data sample or a data example. Okay, they can say a record. Okay, a tuple in a training data set we called as a data record or data sample. So let us define that record as X. Okay, so one more name for the X we called as a evidence. Please remember this. Okay, one known name for this X is called a evidence. So class label is unknown here. Okay, let X be the data sample or a evidence. Please remember, you have to understand this. Okay, so here we have let X be a data sample. That means what? It is a record. Okay, X, another name of X is nothing but the evidence. Okay, so where the class label is unknown, that means what? We are taking the test record. The class label has need to be predicted further. Okay, let H be a hypothesis. There is another variable called H, that is a hypothesis that belongs to hypothesis that X belongs to a class C. Okay, so H defines the hypothesis. It is saying, okay, H is a hypothesis. What actually hypothesis it mean? It is saying that X, that is the evidence or the data record, okay, belonging to a particular class C. Hope you are understanding. Is it clear? Anybody reply? Okay. Next, we have two types of uh, probability here, that is prior probability and another one is posterior probability. Prior probability we call it as an initial probability. Okay, initial probability. Prior means initial. So prior probability is uh, always represented of P of H. What is H? H is a hypothesis. Okay, H is a hypothesis. What it says? It is a hypothesis. What it says? It says the variable X belongs to a class C, any class C. So here it is a actually P of H, prior probability. Okay, It is a probability of event before evidence is seen. Before an evidence is seen. That means the class label is unknown. It is not yet seen the evidence. Okay. So here before the evidence is seen. So what is evidence? Evidence is an attribute value of an unknown instance. Okay. Evidence is an attribute value of an unknown instance. And means it is not yet the class label is not yet predicted. So next here it is given here that if x will buy a computer, okay, x will buy a computer regardless of age, income and all. X will buy a computer regardless of age, income. Okay, like this. That means what? X will buy computer. That means here x is a class label. So it is having two values: buy computer, do not buy computer. Buy, do not buy. So here it is not depending upon any of the attribute like age, income. X will buy computer. It is saying that X will buy computer regardless of any attribute like this. Next, we have the posterior probability. What is posterior probability? The probability that sample data is observed. Okay, so posterior probability will be represented as P of x given h. Okay, P of x given h. The probability of event, okay, after evidence is seen. What is posterior probability? The probability of event after evidence is seen. The probability of observing the sample X given the hypothesis holds. That means given the X will buy computer, the probability is X is 31.40 medium income. That means the who will buy the age is 31, the age is between 31 to 40 and income is medium. Okay, so the attribute values are so and so. So if this the age is equal to 3140 and the income is medium, the attribute having this value will buy the computer. So it is saying like this. Okay, it is saying like this. Here the attribute value is not taken into consideration. Will buy. Okay, so this is posterior prior probability, posterior probability. Next, we have, let us take a consider an example. Okay, here let us have the example. So here this example, I think you are aware of this. Okay, so what we are doing here, we have the attributes like this is transaction ID. This is list like a serial number. Okay, then we have a transaction ID. Transaction ID, that is then we have a refund, then marital status, then taxable income, then class label, that is evade it is given, or we can say defaulted. The no means, okay, no means defaulted. Yes means the person who pays the loan regularly, okay, who will repay the loan correctly. So that is yes. No means the customer is defaulted, that means they are not paying the amount. So here we have a set of records. How many records totally? We have 10 records. Okay, 10 transaction. So 10 records. Oh, so evade is the class label is given the name as evade. So here we have class label is categorical label. Why? Because it is having two values, that is yes and no. Okay, yes and no. So if we see the refund, it is again a categorical value. Marital status is a categorical value. Okay, taxable income is a continuous variable because it is range. It is having a range. Okay, range of value. Here we have yes, no. So it is categorical. Here marital status single, married, and divorced. So three different categories. So it is again a categorical. Okay, then it is a continuous income. Hope you are understanding. Okay, so now evade C. Evade C. C means what? Here we are just taking the class label, evade class label. Okay, so we have how many categories here? We have two categories, that is one is yes, another is no. Okay, totally we have only two categories, yes and no. So what is the chance of out of 10, how many times yes is occurring and how many times no is occurring? If you count, I'll just go for the least one because I know already it. So here I just take yes. Okay, So S is occurring how many times? Totally how many records we have? 10 records. Okay. Out of 10 records, how many records is having the class label with S? 3. So 3 by 10, 0.3. Okay. Then how many nodes we have? This is 0.3. See, you can see here. Yes. And this is no. So how many nodes are there? Out of 10, 3 is yes, means obviously other remaining 7 is no only. So 7 by 10, that is 0.7. So what is, you can have class labeled. So total probability of class label is on probability of class label on S is 0.3 and probability of class label on no is 0.7. Hope you understand it. Okay, next we'll take attribute wise. Okay, because one thing you remember in Bayesian classification or naive Bayes classifier, we are not we are treating the attribute independently. Okay, that you remember. We are not taking the attribute set as a whole. We are treating it as individually. So here next we go for attribute A1. Okay, A1, the refund. What is the attribute A1? A1 is first attribute, A1. So refund. Refund is nothing but refund is having two categories, yes and no. So we are taking. Okay, this is different, yes and no. This is different. This is talking with respect to the what? This we are talking about with respect to refund. Okay, yes, no, because it is also having two categories, yes, no. So P of A. Again, you see how many times S is occurring out of 10. Okay, S is occurring here 1, 2, 3, right? So it is 0.3. And what is how many times no occurring? So obviously 10 minus 3, 7. 7 by 10, 0.7. Yes or no? Okay. Next is attribute 2, A2. That is marital status. How many values are where marital status? Single, married, divorced. So that's why event space single, married, divorced. So what is the probability of all three? So single will take 1, 2, 3, 4. Out of 10, it is having 4. So 4 by 10, 0.4. Then married 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 by 10, 0.4. So 4 plus 4, 8 is over. Remaining was 2. That is divorced. If you see here, we can see the divorced 2 times. Only 2, right? So 2 by 10, that is 0.2. You can see here, okay, probability of A on each value. Okay, that's what we are I'm telling. P of x is equal to x on y of is equal to y of y y of is equal to y. So that was here we are doing P of A upon s and upon these values. So taxable income, it is continuous. Okay, this is categorical, easily we can do, but this has to be treated little bit differently. What we have to do, we have to use the normalization distribution using mean and variance. Okay, here it is given mean here and variance. Okay, mean and variance. We have to use two. Okay, we have to use normal distribution and we have to find the mean and the variance. In the coming slides, I'll show you how we have a formula for that, equation for that. Accordingly, we will calculate. Okay, now the test record is given. What is the test record? This is the training data. Okay, hope you are understanding. Please reply me. Okay, so I will be continuing. If you are not getting doubt, please ask. So hope you are understanding this one. Okay, so we are this is a test record and we have calculated the probability of all chances. Okay, now the test training record, this is training data set. The test record is given. So that is what refund is no, marital status is married, income tax is taxable income is $1 120K. This is given. This set of values is given for attribute 1, attribute 2, attribute 3. So we have to find out which class it belongs to, whether it belongs to a defaulted class or it belongs to a non-defaulted class. Defaulted means what? No. And the non-defaulted means what? Yes. So we have to predict. Okay. So to classify the record, compute the posterior probability. Okay. Posterior probability, that is P of S on X and P of no on X. What is X? This one. Okay, this attribute 1, attribute 2, attribute 3, all value. Okay, we have to individually we have to take. Okay, please remember. So based on the information given in the training data. So P of S of x is greater than P of n of x. Okay, if this is the condition, then we can say the record classified to S class. Okay, that means not default. Otherwise, no class. We will find the answer for this using one of the implementation of Bayesian classifier, that is naive Bayes classification. Bayesian classifier has two implementation. One is naive Bayes classification, another is Bayesian network. Okay, Bayesian network. So here we will be discussing about naive Bayes classification. So we move on to next slide. Yeah, naive Bayes classifier. What is naive Bayes classifier actually? Naive Bayes classifier, it is a classification technique based on Bayes theorem. Okay, based on the Bayes theorem. That I'll come back to this. Okay, Bayes theorem with the assumption of independence among predictors. Okay, so in simple terms, a naive Bayes classifier assumes that the presence of particular feature in a class is unrelated to the presence of another feature. That's why I told it is non-deterministic, independent. Okay, features are independent to each other, our attributes are independent each other. For example, let us say a fruit may be considered to be an apple if it is red, round in shape, and about 3 inches in diameter. Okay, these are the features to classify the fruit as apple. Even if these features depend on each other or upon the existence of other feature, all of these properties or the attributes independently contribute to the probability that this fruit is an apple, and that is why it is known as naive. Okay, why the name naive? Because it is independent. Okay, the features are treated as independent. Okay, the features, even though they are interrelated to each other, they are interrelated to each other. Okay, they are, the probability of each feature is calculated separately. Okay, so naive based model is easy to build and particularly useful for very large data sets. Okay, along with simplicity, naive Bayes is known to outperform even highly sophisticated classification methods. So here we have the equation for naive Bayes classification like this. This we call it as a posterior, okay, posterior probability. Okay, so here it estimates, actually it estimates here, yeah, a naive, it estimates the class conditional probability by assuming that attributes are conditionally independent. Okay, that's what here we are talking about. Even though we have, as I told, fruit, when we can say if the fruit is apple, it is red in color. Color we are taken as a value red, and shape round. Okay, then diameter 3 centimeter. This one we are taken. They are interrelated, but we are calculating the probability of each one separately. But in the example, I'll show you. So given the class label y, so conditional independent given the class label y. So here the equation is given like this. Okay, that we have this. Okay, where here you can just see p of x given y is equal to y. Okay, is equal to I is equal to 1 to the d means d number of attributes. P of x of I given y is equal to y. So please remember, y means it is a class label. Okay, y is nothing but class label. X of I is nothing but attribute. Y x of I attributes will be a set: attribute 1, attribute 2, attribute 3. So it is a set. So we have where x is nothing but x1, x2, xn consisting of d attributes. Okay. So here next we move